Hello and welcome. This is Eric from AD Racing Central. In the beginning of this year, I made a video on the topic that 2023 would be a good year for anti-gravity racing. In hindsight, I'd say that my wishes came through, as the highly esteemed Ballistic NG on Steam is still getting updated, record races in Redout 2 are getting good views on YouTube, the very promising Aero GPX and XF Extreme Formula have planned releases for next year, and you can still find online races in the excellent Wipeout Omega collection on a regular basis. We did of course also get a couple of new games, one of them in one of the biggest franchises in the genre. In this video, I'll talk about the top 3 anti-gravity racing games that were released in 2023. Let's get started. I might as well mention right away that I did not scour through every racing game that was released during this year on Steam, and I know there are many AD racing titles that went into early access this year and had demos released. If you know about the full release that I missed, feel free to leave it in a comment. With that out of the way, let's jump into the list. The first game on this list is developed by Kistler Studios and is called Anti-Gravity Racing. Yes, that's the actual title of the game and is available on PS4 and 5 as well as on Nintendo Switch. This is a budget title available for $10, but it really has some things going for it, and the game has the potential to have players sink many hours into it. The first thing you notice is of course the minimalistic graphics, which inevitably makes you think about the early Wipeout games, a clear inspiration for anti-gravity racing. However, this game is less industrial and more colorful, with good variety in the shape design, considering the low number of polygons. As simple as the game looks, there is however certainly a variety in the environment surrounding the tracks, and the design of the tracks themselves is solid. The thing that sets the game apart from most AD racers is the way the campaign is played. Here, you will inevitably lose your first race and ask yourself why all the other contenders can fly much faster than you. The answer lies in the cash you earn that you'll spend on upgrading your ship. Eventually, you'll place a little higher, earn some more cash, and before you know it, you'll find yourself in first place over the finish line. The cash can be spent on new ships as well, and there are several to unlock. Buying a new ship, however, doesn't mean that it's faster than ones you already own, and you'll need to spend more cash on upgrading its stats. All ships have different maximum stats, so deciding which ones to buy and upgrade is good fun. There's a simple combat mechanic implemented as well, where you can pick up a homing missile or a couple of rounds for a machine gun. I think they add just the right amount of strategic thinking in this rather simplistic title. The grindy nature of this game is what sets it apart from others, for better or worse. The reason to keep playing is to grind out the cash to make your ships better and faster, rather than improving your own skill, which might be a deterring factor for some, but I actually find it quite addicting and a nice change of pace. Anti-Gravity Racing is available for only $10 and even cheaper when on sale. Flashout 3 from developer Jujube was also released in 2023. This is a very combat-focused title with a gameplay style that is similar to Wipeout, but the game certainly has its own unique art style. You might argue that Flashout 3 lacks a bit of polish to really compete at the top, but with its very reasonable price of $20 and with its unique weapon loadout system and loads of ship variations, it's definitely still worth checking out. There is a setting with a story here, be it something we've heard before, as humans have colonized the solar system and fast-speed anti-gravity racing has become very popular. You start off the campaign by selecting a main character, but the only thing that differs between them is a unique weapon. The campaign progresses on a grid, and each cell on the grid consists of 4 events. The event types are the classics: races, eliminations, time trials, combat races and so on, but you'll constantly level up, which unlocks new ships and equipment that provides a good reason to keep grinding through the campaign. The ships you unlock generally become more and more powerful, but the nice twist here is that each ship has several different variants that alter the stats, which significantly increases your options regarding your preferred craft for any given event. There is a certain stat called energy that quickly becomes very important. Your ship's energy determines how powerful the equipment you bring into the race can be, as each type of weapon and gadget takes up a certain amount of energy. Your equipment varies between offensive machine guns and rockets and more defensive shields, boosts and mines. Picking the right gear and the right ship is very important, and the different event types makes it impossible not to experiment with what's available. Admittedly, the gameplay in Flashout 3 may not be as refined as Wipeout or Redo, but the game makes a case for itself with the aforementioned unique mechanics and the low price tag, as well as a killer soundtrack and solid track design.
Enemy destroyed.
FZero 99 is the final game on this list, and its mere existence is a big deal in itself. It's been almost 20 years since we saw the last entry in the anti-gravity racing franchise that started the whole genre, and now a new one is finally here. However, perhaps not in the shape that most fans wanted to see. That being said, the game in itself is nothing short of really good and definitely unexpected. FZero 99 is a multiplayer-only, battle royale anti-gravity racing game with a pixelated graphic style very reminiscent of the original FZero for the SNES, with some modern touches here and there. There are only the original 4 ships to choose from, but there are several cosmetic unlocks of different kinds that you unlock by leveling up or by completing certain feats. Every race starts off at a special extra wide part of the track and then ensues on a version of some of the franchise's OG tracks from the 90s. In the spirit of FZero, the gameplay is very pure with no weapon pickups and just a boost to manage. Using the boost at the right time, however, is a science in itself, as you only have the possibility of recharging it a small amount at the beginning of each lap, and depleting it makes your ship go boom. All players have a spinning attack that's on a cooldown, which slows down your opponents and also makes them drop orbs that when picked up charges your sky bridge meter, which is part of the game's comeback mechanic. When the meter is full, you get a brief access to the sky bridge, that is a shortcut going above the racers that are still grounded. Players in the back of the pack get more orbs than the ones in front, which in turn face annoying AI-controlled ships, and these mechanics balance the gameplay quite a bit. There is more to say about FZero, and I do that in this video about AG Research that you can still play online. Also, feel free to share your thoughts about any of the games mentioned in this video in a comment. Thank you for watching. I am Eric from AG Racing Central, and I'll see you in the next video.